If you have under 100,000 subscribers on YouTube, using YouTube Studio's A/B testing tool is a great choice. It's free, it's accurate, and it's a good starter tool you should be leveraging. If you're over 100,000 subscribers, then it's time to take your split testing more seriously, and you need a professional tool like BrandLytics. Now, I'm a split testing nerd. I've personally completed tens of thousands of split tests on my own YouTube channel, and when I showed YouTube what I was doing, they decided to write a case study on me. At the time, they were shocked that I took a video that was 4 years old and getting 100 views per day and took it to almost 15,000 views per day just by changing the thumbnail. Over the years, I've helped thousands of small and big creators grow their YouTube channels, and once you cross 100,000 subscribers, the channels that grow exponentially do so because they focus on their data as much as their art. They match the art of creating videos with the science of the algorithm. That's where BrandLytics comes in. I developed it myself just for my own channel because I needed a way to A/B test at scale. Then some of my big name friends wanted to use it, and it was their secret weapon too. And I didn't know if I was ever going to make it publicly available to everyone or just keep it for us, but I decided to open it up, at least for now. When we help smaller creators, the most important things are usually figuring out their content strategy, scripts, brand design, and hooks. When we help larger creators, the fastest way to generate growth usually isn't in new videos, it's by fixing the library of content. If you have over 100,000 subscribers and hundreds of videos, adding one more video won't move the needle as much as fixing your old videos that should be performing better. You have gold in your library of videos that YouTube is trying to recommend right now, but people aren't clicking because you have a bad title and thumbnail combination. So how do you find those low-hanging fruit videos? How do you set up tests, track your data, manage your team, see your results, and continue to dominate? That's where BrandLytics comes in. For people who use YouTube Studio A/B testing, they usually do it at video launch. It's actually great for that. Set up your 3 variations and see what performs the best. With BrandLytics, we don't even let you run a split test on a video that is less than 7 days old because the data is too variable. But what do most people do next? They just leave the thumbnail that won in Studio up and focus on the next video launch. That's crazy. Like, very, very crazy. First of all, the audience that watches the video in the first 7 days is nothing like the audience that watches afterwards. How your core audience reacts to a video is often very different to how a colder audience reacts. Your videos live forever on YouTube and can bring in views forever. So if you want to take your channel seriously, you need to test forever. Just testing at launch isn't good enough anymore. How do you know what videos to test? How can you tell which videos are underperforming because of a bad thumbnail title combination? YouTube Studio won't tell you, but BrandLytics will. Here's what we do. We sort your entire channel by the videos that are getting high impressions but have an underperforming click-through rate. This means YouTube is trying to promote your video because they think it's a good video, but people aren't clicking on it because your thumbnail and title suck. That's great news. It's much easier to fix a thumbnail and title than record a killer video that has great retention. Now, what makes for a good click-through rate? That's probably one of the most frequent questions I get asked. And the answer is, it depends on how many impressions the video is getting. If the video only has 4 impressions and 3 of them are from your mom who clicked each time, that gives you a 75% click-through rate. By contrast, if you have a video with 1 million impressions and a 5% click-through rate, it doesn't mean that the CTR sucks because 5% is less than 75%. What it means is that as your video reaches more people, it goes to a broader and broader audience, which means the click-through rate will drop. The #1 video on a channel usually has a below average CTR for that channel. That is normal. It's reaching new people, and those people won't click as much as your hardcore subscribers. So what makes a good CTR? How can you tell if a video has an underperforming click-through rate? You compare similar videos with similar impressions and see which ones consistently get lower CTRs. That's what BrandLytics does automatically for you. It runs through your entire channel, looks at the past 28 days of data, and gives you the videos that right now should be getting more views, but aren't because the click-through rate is too low. Those are the videos you fix right now with a better thumbnail or title. YouTube Studio's A/B testing is a great tool for beginners, but once you start taking your data seriously, there's no comparison. How do you know what to test? The next question I then get asked is, okay, so I know I need to run a split test, but what do I test? The thumbnail or the title or both? First of all, we don't allow users to test both the title and thumbnail at the same time. You need to be able to isolate why a test wins or loses. If you're trying a new thumbnail and title at the same time, you don't know which is the reason why it wins or loses. Next, BrandLytics will also recommend what to test next. After you load in your channel, we will give you guidance not just on what videos to fix, but whether you should update the thumbnail or title. You can ignore the guidance if you want, but I wouldn't recommend it. Let's talk about your testing history. This might sound super boring, but it's actually super important. If you want to run a follow-up test on a video in YouTube Studio, you have to delete all the data from the first test. What? How are you supposed to know what you've tested before? There are videos on my channel that we've run over 20 tests on. If a video is underperforming, we run an A/B test. If it loses and the video is still underperforming, what do? Run another test, and then another, and then another, and then another, and then another, until it's not underperforming anymore. For anyone who runs ads, this is normal practice. You keep running tests and always try to beat your best. When do you stop testing? Never. But if you have to delete a test on YouTube Studio to run a new test, how do you know what you've already tested? What thumbnails have you already tried? What title combinations have you already tried? You have no idea, or you have to create a complicated system on your own to keep track. This is one of the main reasons why I built BrandLytics. When you click to run a test, it will show you all of the previous tests that you've already done on that video, so you can avoid making the same test again and continue to learn from what works. Again, it's just about taking your data and the science of YouTube seriously. If you're only going to run a few split tests per month or only at video launch, then use YouTube Studio. When you're ready to turbocharge your back catalog and your channel growth, BrandLytics is the obvious answer. What else does BrandLytics do? Now, there are a lot more features we've got and are developing, but I don't want to make this video incredibly long. A lot of them, you don't even realize how important they are until you start trying to A/B test at scale. BrandLytics was specifically designed for people who want to scale. Can it work for smaller channels? Yes. I'd say the data starts being really valuable for channels with 10,000 plus subscribers, but it turbo unlocks when you have 100,000 to millions of subscribers. The more videos and data you have, the more impactful it is. If your channel is smaller or new, I'd suggest using YouTube Studio's A/B testing because it's free, and your path to growth is usually, again, more on content strategies, scripts, brand designs, and hooks, not A/B testing. One more thing. I can't finish this video though without also talking about the training that we do. I've coached thousands of creators at this point with their channels from pure startup to 8 figures in subscribers. And as a special bonus for BrandLytics clients, I go live every 2 weeks for 85 minutes to guide you on your growth. Usually we start each session with a channel breakdown. When you sign up for BrandLytics, you can ask our team to get on the list for channel breakdowns. I'll break down one channel with the channel owner, go through their YouTube Studio backend, as well as their BrandLytics results, and guide them on how to grow the channel to the next level. That's the first half of the call, and you get to sit in on the consultation. The second half of the call is dedicated to your questions. I'll bring people up on stage in our Zoom room. You ask your question, and I'll do my best to help. I've helped scale my channel to millions of subscribers, as well as some of the biggest names in entrepreneurship to millions of subscribers, and it's one of my favorite things to do. The session alone is worth the price, so you can think of it as getting the software for free or getting the sessions for free, but I want to see BrandLytics clients win, so it's a fun way to give more value twice a month. So I think that's good for now. BrandLytics definitely isn't for everyone yet, but if you got some traction already and are now ready to take your YouTube growth seriously, then BrandLytics is for you. I can't wait to help you out. Believe.